What's a stupid question that someone legitimately asked you? 1. I was showing a friend a telescope and pointing out all the constellations and planets I knew, and he legitimately asked me, "Where's Earth?" 2. Someone asked me, "How long have you been twins?" 3. If there's a deep end and a shallow end, how come the water is flat on top? 4. Can you turn him so we don't see the scratch on his cheek? Asked of me, as we were reviewing the portrait photography of her son. No ma'am, it's a picture. You should have asked this while we were in the camera room. 5. Someone asked me to repeat the pronunciation of my last name and followed it up with, "Are you sure?" 6. I worked at Yellowstone National Park in the early 2000s. 10s in one of the tourists, a French lady came up and asked me when the animals were going to be brought out for people to see. 7. I worked at a zoo and someone asked if penguins need water to survive. Doesn't that mean they're fish? 8. I'm blind. Somebody asked me how I walk. 9 used to be a whitewater raft guide. No end of dumb questions. 1 was, do we get out where we started? Implying the river goes in a circle like an amusement park ride. 10. My mother had dementia and the social worker asked me, what relation are you to your mother? 11. I was at Niagara Falls with my British sister-in-law. We were looking at the section of the river right where the water goes over the falls. She asked me, is the water very toxic? Then I replied, no. The Great Lakes is where southern Ontario gets its drinking water. Why would you think it's toxic? She replied, well, everyone who falls in the river here dies. I had to explain that they died because they went over the falls. This had never occurred to her.